Don't tell Mace with a big win over a true legend.
Yeah, I know if I land something clean, you know what I'm saying, the fight was going to turn.
The Tail, Lord of Cogman!
What a way to return to the octagon.
Except I've been working on him. That right hand, I knew it was going to be open.
Diego Ferreira!
Welcome to UFC Unfiltered.
Please tell me that's on video. I've never been happier.
I'm made for a fucking podcast. That's dangerous. Listen to me, we're at it.
Welcome to UFC Unfiltered. Matt is putting his shirt on. I'm looking at a half-naked Matt Serra.
You fucking love it.
That's right. Lucky me. Dante Almaze is on the show today. We'll be getting him in just a moment. A really, really impressive win over Andrei Arlovski. And Diego Ferreira with a tremendous knockout of Michael Johnson.
That was on another event.
Yeah, it was a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, but it's still impressive.
It's incredible. Yeah.
Hey,
Yes.
I'm not trying to get more views by starting the show with my shirt off. I had a Serra BJJ with the green writing, so it meshed in with my green screen.
Sure.
It's not a big story.
No, but I understand. You want it to be professional.
You know what is a good story?
What?
My whole family competing the other day. My youngest didn't have an opponent, but the Serra girls, if you look on my story on my Instagram, you'll see all my girls competing.
That's nice.
Angelina got gold. My Maria, my middle, she won one, lost one, and the one she lost it was by 2 points. So it was like if it was an MMA round, like she was on top. She got swept, then she got right away up, and then the girl jumped guard. So it was her trying to fight past the girl's guard. So it was like a battle versus fighting versus the clock. But she did phenomenal, dude. Jimmy, it was amazing watching my kids out there.
Oh, that's great.
And then my wife jumped in, and she went versus a girl twice because they didn't have anybody else in the division, and she won. She got two.
Oh, nice. Good, man.
Jimmy, it's nice, Jimmy. It was a really good day for the Serras. Oh, and let's not forget Uncle Edwin, who got a Kimura, which scared the shit out of me. Other coaches, they're like, get it, go hard. I'm like easy, Edwin. They thanked me, the other people.
He's a strong guy.
No, he had that behind his back. And if you ever saw a Kimura break, it's not an arm break with a shoulder come out with a Kimura. It's not pretty. So he had this judo guy down who beat one of my other guys. This guy was good. He wasn't bad. Nice guy. It was purple belt division. He beat one of my guys, Sean. He did a nice drop Sayanagi on him. So then he was going versus Edwin. So Edwin, even with a judo guy, somehow Edwin just kind of fucking half threw him down. He's a strong guy, Edwin.
Yeah.
He got on top. He got a Kimura. And he almost ripped that guy's arm off. I was just like, easy. So later on at my house, when my in-laws are over and Edwin's over, and my kids were celebrating with some pizza, watching the fights, which we're going to talk about.
Yeah, with Don Tails in the waiting room.
Oh shit, we're going to get him in. Oh, you know what? I was about to tell a good story. You totally ruined it by saying that.
I'm sorry. I wanted you to know he was here.
No. I'll bring up that story with Edwin afterwards. Way to fucking kill the vibe.
Oh, sorry.
Hey, it's my fault for taking a shit and starting us late.
That's okay.
I'll get back to that fucking crazy story after.
All right, eating pizza. I won't forget. Bring it
you cut my legs out from underneath me, you fuck.
But no, I didn't mean to. I figured.
I wasn't setting up a good story at all. Nothing.
Where were you?
It wasn't that great.
All right.
And the ship is definitely sailed.
I'll bring it back. I just wanted you. I didn't know if you knew he was in the room.
No, I know now.
There he is. We don't like to make our guests wait.
Fuck no.
Dante Almaze. Hello, sir. How are you?
Hey, what's up? I'm good, man. Can't complain.
We were just talking about Matt has a brother-in-law who is a very, very powerful guy and sometimes uses it in jiu-jitsu, and I interrupted his story, so I kind of feel shitty. I apologize, Matt, but I wanted Dante to know why there was so much tension in the room.
Sorry there's so much tension. Jimmy shit all over a nice story of mine. More importantly, we had somebody in the waiting room, and that's you, and you had a fucking great victory. Let's not talk about my shitty stories. He's knocking out legends over the weekend. Let's talk about that. How
Yeah,
now
it felt
listen,
good.
huge win, huge fucking win. So win, you got to wear sunglasses inside. I'm only fucking around. Oh, you got a black eye or what is that?
Nah, I'm outside.
Oh, you are outside. I'm the
Yeah.
asshole, Jimmy.
So, how were you hurt at all in the first round? I mean, I thought Arlovski had a pretty good first round until the last 15 seconds. You really got a couple of good shots in the last 15 seconds. But were you hurt at all early in the round?
Nah. He hit me with a nice look. I thought he was faster than I thought he'd be. I said, oh, man, old man still got some speed, for real. Because when I came in, he hit me with a nice little juke move and kind of like, we call that off blue, you know what I'm saying? He hit me with that.
And when you fight a guy like that who's got so much experience, you said something to the effect of you didn't want it to be a chess match with a guy like that. Is it because one of those things where you know that he knows how to keep it going to late in the third, he knows what to avoid, and you wanted to kind of take him out of that?
Oh, for sure. Especially, I can't let him get to the scorecards because that's how he been winning this fight. So, you know, the judges know him; they don't know me. So, you know, we go to the scorecards, most likely he would have won. So I know I had to go out there and look for a fight.
Hey, Dontel, let me ask you. Now you're 31. You're a young man. I fought 20 years ago on the same card as Arlovski, which is fucking crazy. That's fucking crazy. Seriously. Did you watch MMA growing up? I mean, do you see Arlovski fight in the past? And was it weird fighting him?
Nah, not really. I mean, I say my coach is more of a Arlovski fan than me, but you know, I always liked Arlovski. You know, he was always one of the fighters to watch growing up. So, I mean, it was an honor to fight. I've been wanting to catch a legend before they're all gone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Only one left is with Stipe. You know what I'm saying? In the heavyweight division, and I got Arlovski. He was, you know what I'm saying, reachable.
Yeah, man.
And you started training, I read this, I don't know if it's true or not, because you wanted to manage aggression or you wanted to do something with aggression. Did you have a lot of energy or what was it that actually got you training?
Actually, I always liked MMA, you know what I'm saying, growing up. I first watched it, I got goosebumps and shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I want to do that. And like just growing up, I was the first person to bring kicks to the street fight. You know what I'm saying?
Did they say you were cheating back then? Oh, he's kicking.
Yeah.
Wow, dude, hey man, it's a street fight.
Yeah, fuck that.
Smack, bite. But that's crazy, man.
How effective were they in a street fight? I mean, if you do that at the wrong time in the cage, somebody grabs your leg. How ready for that were guys in the street?
Nah, because, you know, really, when it's a street fight, really motherfuckers just trying to rush each other, you know what I'm saying, the whole time. In the beginning of the fight, that last fight, you know, 15 seconds. But, yeah, when people do that, I just hit the push kick. I push kick them, you know what I'm saying? That's what I would do in the street fight. I really wasn't leg kicking, and I was push kicking people.
I would like to see, we should have a new contest, like guys around Jimmy's size, and have Dontel have you do like a push kick and see how far they can go back. That would, hey man, I know slot fight's taking off. This could be the next fucking thing. This could be the next thing. Just him front kicking people like fucking Sparta. Boom.
Hey, Matt, man, you gotta holler at Dana for me, man. How did I not get the extra 50, man?
Shit, man. I like when everybody likes to yell towards Dana. They're like, "Hey, Matt, wait," because I'm his buddy. It's like I got the backbone to him. People see me do a show with him, and they see I'm another just little bald. I'm a bald guy. Hey, Dontel, listen. If it's my fucking checkbook, I'll write you 2 checks. That was fucking awesome. You knew once it landed, he's most likely not getting up, correct?
Yeah. I shouldn't even followed up though, but you know, it's protocol. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? It's when people like say, "Oh, why did this person hit him again when they're on the floor?" It's like one of those things where you don't understand. Like, it's not to over exaggerate it, but in a sense, you're fighting for your life in there. If you somehow take it easy, man, next thing you know, he survives. Then you're on the wrong end of that. And then if you're on the wrong end of that, then you'll really be feeling bad. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, it really is, man. It's him or you in that cage. I don't give a shit. So
Well, you look at Diego Ferreira we're interviewing after, and his knockout of Johnson. Again, watching from home, I'm sure seems different than it does in the cage. But he went down and threw another shot. I mean, he threw another shot until the ref came in and stopped him.
Dantel's not gonna give a shit about that guy. He knows what this is about. It's fucking warfare. Dantel, listen, we can't be training to knock people out 24/7. What are we doing when we're not training? What do we like to do? What is a hobby we like to do? You're a book reader. Got a series on Netflix. We like to know about our fighters.
Yeah, I've been watching a lot of anime. I've been watching a lot of anime.
Yeah. Just like Edwin. Edwin loves the anime. Dude, I'm telling you, people love anime. Why does it resonate so much with fighters?
I don't know. Like I always been like, cause the type of anime I watch, most of the time it's got to do with some fighting. You know, grew up watching Dragon Ball Z and stuff. And but yeah, like when they, it's like a motherfucker got some supernatural. We feel like we supernatural. So we bigger and stronger and better than the average motherfucker. So feel like that's us. That's us compared to the human beings.
Israel Adesanya.
Yeah.
Dante. Guys, they love that anime, man.
Did you switch to anime from another animation, or is that always the one you liked?
Nah, anime is just like the category. I've been watching, plenty of anime. I grew up watching like kung fu movies and stuff too. You know what I'm saying?
Did you see what's the one that was on? Everyone tried to get me to watch. What's the one that was on Netflix that people said wasn't as good in live action as it was when it was animated? Matt, which one was that?
I know what you're talking about.
Death Note or something? Is that it?
Yeah. I could agree with that. Yeah, the anime is way better than like the live version. Like when they do the anime, like you can, ain't no limitations on what the director or whatever wants to do. That's the thing with anime. It's like it can be like a regular show, but the fact that it's animated, opportunities is limitless.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's hard to make that. It's hard to make that like they do like with the Marvel movies. They can make those comic books into like movies. They have a hard time doing that with the anime. I noticed because they tried to do a Dragon Ball Z movie, and it was a pile of shit. Right or wrong? You see it?
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Fucking awful. It's up there with this Van Damme Street Fighter movie. So good.
You went to I went to college for 1 semester, and I got a B and 3 Fs. How long did you go for?
I did a year, like my first year out of high school, I did a year at a small JUCO in Indiana, and I got kicked out for fighting.
Oh, you did?
I fought a few times, and they was all right, that's enough. They kicked my ass out, and then I came back home, and then I started training.
Oh, that's what. Okay, so you felt you wanted to put that to good use. You're like, I might as well focus this in a good place.
Yeah, I figured MMA chose me. You know what I'm saying? I already been obsessed with it growing up, so that was the opportunity. I got kicked out for fighting, so I was like, that's what it is.
What did you want to do when you went to school? Like, were you thinking there was something else in mind?
I had hoop dreams for sure. You know what I'm saying? But I think every kid growing up got some type of pro athlete dreams. If you're an athlete, either you want to be in the NBA, NFL, something.
That's pretty amazing, though. You go for one sport, you get thrown out for fighting, and then you're like, all right, fuck it, I'll make this the sport. And that becomes the way you make the living, and it's actually working out really well for you.
Yeah. And I love fighting. Fighting always came natural to me, so.
From growing up.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jimmy. I was
being a big guy. Who's are people really testing big guys out in the street? I guess they are.
Yeah, well, before I filled out, I was skinny. You know what I'm saying? Tall, skinny. Before I was tall, skinny, I was fucking short, fat. You know what I'm saying? So I've been fighting.
I can relate to that short and fat part. I've been there too, Donnell. I've been there, my man. It's not a good feeling. I mean, I'm still short, but at least I have abs now. You know? But yeah, dude. That's what. And Jimmy, sometimes the big guys, some people, especially out, they get tested, man. People
I guess so.
You know what I mean?
Now, who do you have on your radar next? Do you have anybody in mind? Is there anybody you're looking towards? Obviously, you want to keep fighting higher up, but who are you looking at next? Is there anybody you're thinking of?
I'm just looking at the numbers, really. I don't know what the name is bound. I mean, I haven't fought anybody actually ranked. I fought people who's been ranked, and who's now been who's been a champ, but I haven't got to actually fight someone ranked. So I mean, we can start at 15, whoever that is. Give me him.
You don't care. You just want to fight somebody higher up. You want to move up.
I want to get moving. So like I'm there. I know where I'm at on the ladder.
This is definitely a good feather in your cap. Yeah. With Arlovski. I mean, the guy, listen, whatever age he is, he's been around for a long time, man. And he's and he's a former champion. And he's a guy that doesn't fight his age. So I mean, hopefully this fucking gets you on the fucking radar, man. We gotta get paid, Dontel. We gotta get paid.
Yeah, who you telling, man? I'm trying to get paid. That's what I said, man. I'll let your boy Dana.
I'm gonna tell him when I see him. But we should text him after this. This is fucking bullshit. Let's get Dontel paid. I'm just starting. I'm yelling at this boy.
Yeah, because then first of all, Dana won't listen to me, and then Dontel will be pissed off at me, and Dana will be pissed off at me. So I have no pull. If I could get anybody paid, I'd get us more money, and I can't pull that off.
That's true. He still pays us too, so I'm gonna have to be Switzerland in this, Dontel. But I'm for you. I'm fucking around, Dontel. You keep knocking him out, you'll be undeniable. They'll be fucking throwing money at you. Not like a stripper, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Well, you had perseverance, though. Didn't it take you after your third contender you got in? I mean, you didn't give up after the first one. You didn't give up after the second one. So you certainly knew what you wanted and had the perseverance to get in.
Yeah, fighters fight, man. That's all I mean. That's what I do. And, I don't ever turn down an opponent or a challenge. Every time they give me a name, let's do it. You know what I'm saying? Where's it at? So, fighters fight. I've been doing that for a while now.
Well, look, good luck on the next time. I hope we have you back either before or after your next fight. But that was a great fight with Arlovski. He looked good. You caught Arlovski looking like really, really solid, and he was fast. He was throwing spinning attacks, and you outplayed him, and it was great. It was a great win.
I appreciate that, man.
All right, Dontel. Really quick before you go, name an anime I should watch. Give me something.
Vinland Saga. It's like if you like Vikings and type shit.
Yes, I do.
Yeah. Vinland Saga. It's on Netflix right now.
I'm gonna check that shit out. Vinland Saga. Awesome, bro. Awesome.
Yeah, nice talking to you, man.
Take care, Dontel. Congrats again.
Okay, take care.
Thanks.
Congrats. Now, Matt, I don't want to forget, before Diego Ferreira gets here, what happened? Edwin's eating pizza after a win?
Jimmy, this is the thing.
What?
I want to take this time right now.
Sure.
To apologize, Jimmy.
Why?
I can't get snippy with you. I feel awful.
Oh, I didn't take it personally.
This is what the audience has to know.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a big softie, especially when it comes to you. I'm very protective. You don't know that. If somebody ever ruffled your feathers, no pun intended, my little bird, but if they did, I'd be there in a heartbeat. You know that.
Well,
I don't
thank you,
care
Matt.
who it is. But my point is this. We were a little late getting on today because of one reason. My ass. I have that ulcerative colitis, Jimmy. You don't think I was ready about I had an eggplant roll, maybe too close to when we had to start. And then I was on the throne. Again, TMI, I could have left all this out.
That's okay. I was a minute late myself. I wasn't right on time. I was a little late myself.
Then I was telling a little stupid story, and then not realizing, you being the professional you are, you don't know how long I rant. I could be a chatty Matty. So I you gotta let me know. You let me know when there's a gentleman waiting in there, because I was taking a long shit, and I'm sitting there snapping at you, and I shouldn't have. So Jimmy, please accept my apologies. I am not like other co-hosts of yours.
Oh, that's okay. I wasn't even remotely offended. What I got to do though is figure out a way to tell you where I can just hold it up, because most people listen to us and don't watch us, so they won't see the sign. So I should hold up. How about we get a signal like this? If I hold up 2 thumbs, that just means somebody's in the waiting room.
Comedian Dave Landau had to deal with something similar to this. We should have him on. You know Dave Landau?
I do, yeah. I like Dave.
He was on the show Louder with Crowder. Did you?
Yes,
know
I like Steven too. I was on that show
like
many
Steven
times.
Also, but man, they had a bad, almost like breakup thing. And you should know about this because he was on your friend's show before that.
I know, but Matt, I don't pay attention to any radio drama. I lived it for so long. What?
I do, because it's fun.
Yeah, it is.
It is. It's fun. It really is. Not when you're in it, I guess, and you've been in it. You tell me to shut up.
No, I'm just telling you there's someone in the waiting room. I was practicing our new signal. No, that's just letting you know that we have to get to somebody. But I was just practicing. Diego's not.
Is Diego in the waiting room?
No, I was just practicing to see if it how it resonated.
Listen, we're changing the subject. But Dave Landau, when he was on the Crowd, I think one of his things was he was insulted where a red light would come on, and that's when Steven has to talk. So it's almost like a shut up light. They would say it's Steven's rant light. I just think this is fascinating.
Oh,
and he would be like, a little insulted, I guess. But I don't know. You may be thinking that when you're thinking of a signal.
Yeah, that's hard. Like when one, I mean, Steven is the host, but whenever, especially as a comic, your whole thing is to kind of jump in and timing of it. And sometimes it's hard if you know, hey, I can't talk for a few minutes. You're going to lose a couple of great joke opportunities.
You go back to be like, oh man, before there was an opportunity I could tell a joke. What are you going to say? You have to jump but that, I don't know. I just thought
hard.
Once you said about getting a signal, it reminded me of that little dilemma. But we should have Dave Landau out on.
Sure.
I like him.
I do too. I know Dave. I know Dave for a while. And what about Edwin with the pizza? What happened? He said he almost Kimura'd somebody.
Good. So he Kimura'd this guy, and the guy even thanked me because he's like, no, it's a little tweak, but thank you. I heard my family's here. I didn't want to tap in front of my family, my kids, but thank you. So Edwin, we're over eating, and then my wife's like, that was really nice how you, you went slow on that Kimura, and his family was there. So he's eating. He doesn't even look up. He's like, well, and he goes, well, that's all because of Matt. And I thought he was going to say maybe teaching him like the Kimura. He goes, he told me to go slow. If he would have told me to rip it, I would have ripped it. I go, holy shit. I go, and he's just eating. He didn't even look it up. If he would have told me to take it, I would have took it off. I go, oh my God.
So he was going slow because the guy's family is there. And did the guy tap?
Oh, no, he tapped. But I was telling him, tap. I go, easy, Edwin, tap. Because I would do it. He got it behind. He was passing in half guard with it. So then once he got cross-eyed, it's behind his back totally. Edwin is almost 300 pounds. And this dude was underneath him. It was not, it was ugly. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was going to be a rough one.
So it's like, I know you don't want to tap in front of your kids, but dude, you don't want to be screaming in front of them either. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm just like, dude, I've been around it so long. Even one of my kids, Jimmy, after this, go look on my story. I really want you to. You're going to love it.
Sure.
You see what my kids did with the arm lock, the control, because they get it locked up where they just break the grip in a nice slow. So they look like little Ronda Rouseys out there. It's so cute. Yeah. Little things. But Edwin, that was the story with Edwin. It was more funny where, my compliment, oh, you're so controlled. You didn't want to hurt him. He goes, oh, no, that's because your husband told me to go slow or else I would have ripped it off.
Were you saying tap? Were you telling the guy to tap?
Oh, yeah, 100%. I go, no, tap. No, 100%. I go, easy, Edwin, easy. Because it's not a pretty thing. Well, I've seen Kimuras do that. And it's not pretty.
Do you know as a man, when you're fighting another man and that guy's coach is telling him go easy and encouraging you to tap, you better tap?
Yeah, he was a nice guy too. He came up to me afterwards and he was like,
he thanked you?
He was a fan. Yeah. He was a nice guy. Yeah, he was a nice guy. He trains at a jiu-jitsu school near where I'm at. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's near a train station near my house. So there's a couple of times I stopped in there. I'm like, oh, it was like a little school called Win Jiu-Jitsu. Nice guys. They're like cops and stuff.
Yeah.
So, I stop in and like, oh shit, the guy's mopping the mats. So I'm familiar with these guys. Everybody listen. I was worried. Sometimes you go to these tournaments, there's knuckleheads. So everybody was respectful. You're shaking hands, kissing some babies, that type of thing.
Sure.
But everybody's respectful. I had my whole family there. My squad was there. It was cool, dude. It was a good time.
And Matt, I meant to ask Dontel this because he mentioned the judging, and then we just got sidetracked. If it goes to the judging, he thought Arlovski would get. You're so much more the expert than I am. I 100% felt Kai Kara-France was robbed. I thought it was a terrible decision to Amir Albazi, but you as a guy who watches it in a different way than I can watch it, tell me what you saw, and am I wrong to think? I went on Twitter after. I normally don't do that, and a lot of people said that. But again, you watch a fight a different way than I do.
This is going to be the problem with my take on it. I watched it after. I had such a long day that I watched it. I watched it after the fact, and I watched it after everybody said it was a robbery.
Okay.
So that might make me look at it differently.
What did you think, though?
I was expecting more of a robbery, where I'm like, that could easily go either way. Let's base it on the rounds when you were clearly, I felt like that third round, even though the last minute, Kai got out of the back. He escaped the back and got on top and was landing strikes. That's a minute out of a 5-minute round. And that other 4 minutes, he was getting dominated. So I can't give that to him now, that third round. And you could easily give the first round for 2 rounds and go either way. I don't know. I thought it was way closer than but I did go in watching it, knowing that he won and that everybody said it's a robbery. So maybe I'm thinking, well, this is closer than this is not a robbery. It might be I don't know. Like I went in there thinking,
right, you were expecting more.
It's gonna be a robbery, but I didn't see as bad as I thought it would be.
But when you look at, we'll get Diego in just a second. He's in the waiting room.
Hi.
Yes. Okay. We will. I just wanted to know what your thoughts was, because round 4, one of the refs gave that to Albazi. I have to watch the fight again, but I remember being very surprised that one of the refs gave. One of the judges gave round 4.
The first 2 rounds were very close, though.
Yeah, it was definitely. It wasn't like a beating, but I thought Kai Kara-France clearly won. But
not alone in that. You're not alone in that.
I know, but I also read a couple people who goes, no, it was a lot closer. And you always seem to see those things better than I do. Oh, by the way, Matt, while we're waiting for Diego, who doesn't love fucking Jim Miller?
I
mean, I know what you're going to say. You're going to say Jesse Butler. Yeah. I mean, look, I think he came up on 2 days' notice to fight.
Our producer kind of fucked it up. He's got charity.
I know. He's got the old
Sorry,
Jesse Butler.
Just asking for help.
Yeah, but I mean, I believe it was his first fight in the UFC too, Jesse. Very, very tough.
We should mention, Jimmy, that
yes.
Jesse took it on 2 days' notice.
I just said that. Yeah, 2 days' notice. So
sorry, you did.
And Jim, that's okay. Jim Miller's such a nice guy. He mentioned that too. He said thank you for stepping up on 2 days' notice. But I mean, what an impressive, beautiful knockout. How old is Jim Miller? Is he 40 now? I know he said he wants to fight.
I'm pretty sure he's 39.
Is he 39? Okay, he's getting up there.
Maybe I'm off with that, guys. I mean, maybe let's check that. Oh no, he's 39. It says
he's 39. Okay.
And dude, man, that was a fucking left hooks from hell.
Oh yeah, it was beautiful.
I mean, he commits, man. He commits hard, and that would have been fun watching him and Jared Gordon. They should put that in.
They should absolutely make that fight happen if they can. Did you see Jim Miller has a little gray in his beard? I that's always strange to see from an active fighter. It's like Roy Nelson, I think, had a little bit too. But that's always kind of crazy to see a guy in the cage still fighting. It has a little bit of gray in the beard.
I'm not sure. Oh no, yeah, he does have gray in his beard.
A little gray, yeah.
Yeah, man.
But congrats to Jim Miller. I mean, I don't think I've ever met anybody talking about MMA who doesn't like Jim Miller. So he's a legend and a future Hall of Famer and an absolute fan favorite. Okay. Yeah, I know he wants to fight UFC 300. That's right. He fought at 100 and 200. And 300 is in 2024. What are we coming up to now, Matt? Do you know what the number is? What's the next? What
were we just at? 280 something? Am I way off?
Yeah, 289. So another year maybe, right? They're 1 a month. So 11 or 12 from now, Jim Miller could easily make that, by the way.
Yeah, easily. I'm looking forward to the card next weekend is what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah.
I am. I mean, Amanda Nunes versus Irene Aldana. Irene Aldana is, they're bringing back Diego.
Okay.
Irene Aldana, nobody's giving her a shot. That's when they're the most dangerous, Jimmy.
I know.
Trust me.
Wait a minute. There was a time when you were not.
Watch this pose.
All right. I think we might have Diego.
Okay,
Hi, buddy.
Now. Sorry, guys.
Oh, it's all right. It happens all the time. Hey, congratulations, first of all. But before I forget, I was watching, I think it's on your Instagram, your whole family is involved in jiu-jitsu. How old is your son?
My younger ones, he's actually 10 months. My younger one, my baby one's 10 months. And my little one, it's 7. My middle one is 14. And my older one is 21. He just completed 21 after the weekend of my fight.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
So wait, which one?
Thank you.
They do jiu-jitsu?
They all do. They do, especially the little ones. They are more involved. Exactly. They're more involved in jiu-jitsu, competing every another week. My son Kaido right now, he's all into wrestling right now. Exactly. He's really trying to get a scholarship. He really trying to focus on that right now. He's been training jiu-jitsu from the 8 years old to right now. He's been really active and he have already like really good goals in life. You know, one is be a UFC fighter too, and that's make me real happy. And I'm really glad then they learn jiu-jitsu, you know, and get them on the right path.
That's so great, man.
Yeah.
I had my daughters over the weekend and my wife. My daughter's 12 and 14. They just did their first jiu-jitsu competition.
Oh yeah, I know how you feel, but I know, man.
It's amazing.
God.
Isn't
Yeah.
it fun watching them? Good.
My wife too. My wife does jiu-jitsu. She does. Yeah, exactly. She's right there for a black belt already. But right now she's not. Yeah.
Don't you love when they're all at the academy training? Do you have them all like when they're training all there? Isn't it fun?
Yeah, they always round. Yeah, my wife worked right beside me. Like when I'm teaching class, she's teaching a class of fitness. You know, we all work together. Like it's on the same place, you know. But we have a business together. So she's teaching the CrossFit. I'm teaching jiu-jitsu, you know, and then we keep like always seeing each other around the gym. We always working around the gym.
Well, weren't you like 10 years old when you started? You were a very young kid.
Yeah, I was when I started jiu-jitsu, I was 7 to 8, you know. Wow. Exactly. My cousin invited me to go to a project they have around the neighborhood. And from there, 8 years old, you know, now having nothing to do. My cousin, I just asked him, hey, let's try Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I said, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu? What's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu? And from there, I started getting hooking on the Jiu-Jitsu for the rest of my life. From the beginning when I started training, I want to be a world champ. That was my focus doing Jiu-Jitsu, to really hit the goal, hit the highest. The highest was to be a world champion one day.
How great did it feel? Because I know what it's like to bounce back after having some losses. How does it feel, man? Talk about getting the monkey off your back, man. That's great. There's one thing to have 2 to 3 losses and then get a win, but to get a win in the fashion that you did with a guy that you did it to, that's big, man. That has to be like, a big exhale, no?
It was, man. It was. So, like, for me, I have a lot of pressure, you know, and it's something is good for me because when I'm bringing pressure on myself, since I do better, you know, I feel like the extra push, it's motivating me, especially come from 3 losses, you know, a lot of you guys have seen it, and it was hurting me. It was hurting because I want to get back into the rank, you know. I was really looking to get the right fight. But for me, I was always or getting short notice, or I was hurting and I have to pull out from 2 fights on my camp, was more like frustrated because that, like the getting out of the fight, getting hurt, and 3 fights already lost, and for me, all that accumulation was getting me more hungry, getting me more motivated to be in the gym, be the fight I want to be, I really want to show the best of myself. So come out with this win for me was perfect. Did everything what I did, going to Dallas, coming back home, 9 hours drive back and forth. And the camp was tough. I didn't like it at all, but this victory being a good feeling.
What was your confidence like after a couple of losses? What was it beginning to? Were you starting to get really worried, or what does that do to you mentally after that third one before you get in the cage with Michael?
Then, Jim, for me, it was tough, to deal with that. To try to be a better fighter for me was more tough to learn new tricks, So for me to put all that together, and try to get that win, so can motivate me, and so I can learn for the next one. I think I didn't need those 3 losses, even though I didn't gonna be the fighter where I am right now, and I did work. I did put so much work on my hands, and so much work in my boxing, my Muay Thai. Never forget his jiu-jitsu. Always been putting a lot of work into my jiu-jitsu. But this victory bring a lot for me, and I bring a goal so I still have the feeling to get to the title. That's what's my focus the most, and this victory is good for me on the top of my career.
Shit, yeah, man.
And you've had a couple of fights with Beneil, a couple of good fights with Beneil, and he's fighting Oliveira. What do you think of that fight? That's such an interesting matchup, and I feel like he's also a guy who's kind of been overlooked a little in the big picture. What do you think, Beneil and Charles? I
think it's gonna be an interesting fight. I fought twice with Beneil, twice go with decision.
Yeah,
he's a slipper guy, and I'm gonna say this. He's the type of danger fighter every single time. But when you think you can get him, I don't know how the heck he take himself off the positions. But I think Oliveira have those adjustments on his jiu-jitsu. Maybe that's gonna be the key. But what I see this fight, I think that Beneil's. I love the champion from my hometown, from my home country. But I think Beneil is going to be more the hunger guy on this fight. I think he's been there for so long trying to get to the title shot. He knows this is his chance, and I'm cheering for him. I'm really looking for him so he can get this fight. And I think Beneil is going to take it.
He's not going to be afraid to follow him down to the floor. That's for sure.
No.
You know what I mean? He was down there with you. He's not going to be afraid with him either. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Those 2 last fight, he Gramarock, that's his name, and then Ferguson. That show the guy is in point. The guy's a monster, and I think don't get me wrong. Like I think the champ really, he got his fights. He have his wins, but I think Beneil is gonna be more on that point, get to his jiu-jitsu, get to his dominant position, and I think he is gonna take that one.
What was Michael saying to you it didn't say something to you about don't talk to him, or something? Wasn't there a comment? Like, what was going on between you two in the cage? I couldn't hear it.
No, yeah, I was talking to him. I didn't know I was talking to him. And for I wasn't so focused on on that moment, and I think the way my mind was reacting, he was hitting me like hard. Like he caught me a couple punches and couple kicks on my body, and I felt it. And then I kind of want to say, "Damn, bro, you with it." let's do it. Let's go. Let's move forward. Let's put this fight on. And that's what I was telling him. Let's go. I was not disrespecting him or anything.
Right.
But I was so on that moment. I just on that moment of the fight, I was taking like, okay, let's go. I'm ready. I'm ready for this. Like, let's go. Let's throw down, you know. And when I get back to the corner for the second round, my coach was like, don't talk to him. Coach saves, don't talk to him. You want to mess him up, but don't talk. I said, oh shit, sorry, coach. I didn't know I was talking. I didn't know I was talking.
Saif is great. Saif Saeed is great. He's one of my favorites to watch and listen to in between rounds. He knows the fine line between instruction, motivation. You know what I mean? He's an intelligent corner man.
He is. So like the main goal, like the main thing he was telling me, you know, try to step to his left. So I gonna be seeing him the way Mike was gonna step to his right. So to my right. So as soon as I step to his left, he jumped off the right. And that's what you see. You see, we gotta count on that. And I didn't even thought about just throw him overhand and then caught in the right place. I was feeling like one thing, I always listen to you, coach. You never go wrong, because if you really train in that position, it's gonna land it.
It's amazing how fast he still is, right? Michael Johnson, his speed.
Super. Like he caught me a couple of times trying to take him down. Just feint. I was putting my head down. I didn't know that. And 2 of those punches I took behind my head. Another one I felt it. I shoot on his leg. Like I feel I'm fast shooter. You know, I'm shooting for the takedown. But man, he was ready. He was in point on his wrestling. As soon as I shoot on his leg, he whizzed me so hard. I kind of spin around and it kind of get back on my feet, and I said, nah, you're not gonna go to the ground so easy. I need to put some hands in. Wow, for me, I'm glad I start faking a little bit on the jab and overhands, and it landed in the right place.
How good did that feel too? That must do so much for your confidence too. Just like, cause such a veteran like him, and a guy who's fought so many good fighters who have not been able to do that to him. And that really had to make you feel great, and that like whatever the problems were before, they've been straightened out.
It did. It felt awesome, you know, Jim, because for me, the name he carried, you know, the name he has, and so many people he fought, you know, like you can't put it there. Like he fought the champs and then fought like main celebrities on his career. So for me, I knew the danger was there. Like the guy has passed. The guys really put down many fighters, you know, on his career. And if you don't watch out, you're gonna be the next. So for me, carrying that, like I was really weird. The positions and the dangers, what he did have, and want some like he did not. But for me, I try to capitalize on the most. What he was not danger. I knew it was gonna be on this little step to his right was gonna be the open gap. So like for me, it come out the right way and the right time to like just to get me more confident for my next fight. And you know, I didn't have a TKO on my career and on my record now. You know, TKO like that, it bring a lot of satisfaction to myself, and then I'm really glad to do this.
Came at a great time. Time.
Yeah,
man. Glad to see you back in the winning column, bro. You know, in winning ways, and you're so entertaining, man. And you want to get back in there real soon, or?
I do. I'll be in that, like really talking that. You know, I really want to get that fight with Gillespie, but I didn't know he was already out of the fighting scenes, you know. I think that's what I heard already. But in one of those fights, I really wanna get back on it, you know, because I don't know, the activity he took from the last fight, the short notice fight I took with him. I felt like disrespect, you know, like the way he was reacting with me, the way he reacted, you know, the way I missed away was not my fault, but I was not in control of that. Yeah. So I have a little grudge with him. I really wanted this fight, and I'm not gonna call names. I'm gonna be that type of guy. But I wanted this fight, and I already talked to Sean. I'm ready. I want to get this fight. I want to make sure this guy not gonna get back again in UFC.
We're in the hurt business, Diego. So sometimes when and I remember this, when I was fighting a guy, if you're going to get paid to punch a guy in the face or try to hurt somebody like Chris Lytle, or if you're going to get paid and try to hurt somebody like Frank Trigg, you want to fight a guy. You want a guy that you'd want to smack for free. So look,
that's the one.
I'm with you, man. I remember my pre-fight thing was Trigg. I'm like, I'll smack this guy for that. You're going to pay me to smack this guy? And I'm like, this is a win-win. So I'm with you, Diego. You're too classy to say it, but I'm not.
I am because that's those feelings in time when you have it. That's when the fight is going to be good. You have that fire. You have that feeling you want to whip them up. That's how I feel right now. That's the way I want to get this fight.
I sense it. I can tell by the way he's talking. He's a respectful guy, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Very respectful. He wants to say a little more, but you're gonna let
I gotta talk with this.
I love it. Very good. Hey man, congrats again, dude.
Yeah, great win.
You want to plug anything or your school or?
I just want to be thankful now to everyone and then support me and all this a year and a half being away from competing. I have a lot of names. They know who they are. Being with me for a long time, and that's what I mean for me right now. I want to say thanks to all the people who helped me out, my family, my siblings. That's something I want to enjoy with them, and I appreciate all the people helping me out. Besides that too, and thank you guys. I appreciate for opening this space every time, and then thank you, and I can't wait for the next one.
Great talking to you, man, and congratulations again. And we'll talk to you again soon.
Thanks, Jimmy. Thanks, Sarah. I appreciate it. How going, guys?
Take care, Diego. Thanks.
Thank you.
Diego.
You know what's great, Matt, too, is that for a second it took Diego to get there. He was outside, and I guess the phone, his connection was amazing when he got inside. It was perfect. That's one of the best audio connections we've had with a guest. So I'm really happy that worked out. He's a nice guy.
Yeah, we're almost done with the show. I have not sung yet, and I know he left. So as I look right now, I look around. I think we're alone now. The beating of our hearts is the only sound. I think we're alone now.
How about
you like the visuals when I
do, yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Jimmy. What were you gonna say, Jimmy?
Alex Caceres, Daniel Pineda, great fight. Alex Caceres, always exciting.
Dude, Bruce Leroy, every time you see him, and not only that, though, I'll tell you, I like some of these submission attempts that he was going for. Were pretty awesome. But Alex, man, he's it's so funny because I know everybody's kind of shitting on Crone Gracie, but Crone Gracie didn't fucking stalk him down, got his back and strangle him. That's pretty wild. And you don't think he'd be so easy to do that to, because he's not easy to do that to. So I don't know, man. Alex, you think Alex Caceres is going to be fading? I think he's getting better.
He seems like I don't know if I can think of anybody else who really appears to love fighting as much as him. I'm sure other guys do, but just when you watch Caceres fight, he looks like he's having the time of his life. Whether he's on his back, getting up, losing, he looks like he just fucking loves every second of it.
Jimmy, yes, he does. He does love that. And just like Tim Elliott belongs in there, belongs anywhere else. I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'm happy for Tim Elliott.
Yeah, me too. It was a great win.
We'll talk about Tim Elliott. I want to bring up something about leg locks. But let's just talk. I know I don't want to forget. It's my ADD. But
sure.
Tim Elliott, he's had some tough personal things, and I'm happy to see him with the win. You saw Chris Brennan, who's an old school UFC fighter, and an old school fighter. So I was happy to see him in his corner. That's an old school guy, and I like to see that guy. Some guys from the past that fight. Now you see them in the corners, and I know he's got a school next generation, and I think he's in Texas now. So good for him. I like to see him in there. But I want to talk a little bit, really quick, about leg locks in MMA. Dude, there's a time and place for everything, Jimmy.
Yeah.
You know, like your sick humor. There's a time and place.
Exactly.
You know?
Yes.
Karine Silva, listen, when she went back for that leg lock, she figure four'd her leg where Silva sat back with Caitlin Souza's leg, and Souza could not come up to defend it because she figure four'd the leg. And just before she even set it into place to attack the leg, the heel, you saw her knee pop out. Did you see it, Jimmy?
Well, yes. When you say figure four, what do you mean?
That means you take your leg and you do like a triangle with your leg. You put it in the bend of your knee. So she laid back with her leg. Let's say she was holding her leg. Yep. She laid back. She put her one leg over their opponent's leg and put it in the bend of her knee and triangled her leg. Okay. That makes sense. It's a figure four with your legs. It's kind of what to do with the. I'm trying to explain the best I can.
Yeah.
She locked her legs, wrapped her legs around Souza's legs,
right.
And so she had good control of it. So you can't just twist out of it. So the way that thing popped out is exactly why I hate leg entanglements. You know what I mean? But again, that's a fight. She laid down with a leg, and she did it. She must have done that before. She had that down where it's not her first time laying down with a leg. So she laid down. She did not take any strikes from there at all, and she got the submission a minute 45 in that first round. Now let's compare that to Damon Blackshear versus Luan Lasheda. Lasheda was not. He went for some nice submissions, very nice. Blackshear was very athletic, and he was getting out a lot of them. Not only was he getting out and defending them, there's a thing called like just waiting a little bit too long. On the bottom, back in 2001, back when I was fighting, Shoney Carter, Jeff Curran, I jumped to guard. I pulled butterfly guard into an ashigarami on Eve Edwards, and I attacked that leg, punched him in the face, used it to get on top. If you cannot get a clean submission with these leg locks, you abandon ship and you use it as a reversal. Because if you wait around too long, you're going to get what happened with Blackshear, man. He fucking just started letting loose, letting some soup bones down. So you're getting greedy. You're like, oh, man, I'm good at this leg lock. If I just get a nice, better grip. Well, now there's something called distance management that's forgotten in jiu-jitsu because you don't use it in jiu-jitsu tournaments because you're not worried about getting smacked in the face or punched or elbowed and whatever. So you have to keep that in mind when you're fighting. Because this Luan Lashada, he had some really nice jiu-jitsu. But again, you got to be very, strategic with how you use these leg attacks. Use them as reversals or whatever you're tapping out guys in class with on a daily basis. Do that one.
How do you use it as a reversal? That's what I was asking you. How do you?
For instance, I'm with Shoney Carter, all right, or any one of the I just named. I'm going for an ashigarami. That's a leg lock. Yeah. I grab the leg where if they go to run away, I have it around my own. I'm grabbing around their leg, but around my own butt, underneath my own butt, where I'm latched onto that leg. So they try to go, for in Shoney's instance, he tried to run away. It didn't work. What is he going to do? He steps back to punch me in the face. So in reality, in jiu-jitsu too, when you want to go for this kind of leg lock, I'm on a leg. If the guy goes to run, they can't go. If they step back to either control your head, collar, the gi, or punch your face. For them to do that, they got to be in a position to get swept. They're going to be off balance. They're right over you. Right. So you get the timing in class of getting on the leg. The guy goes to get away. No good. He goes to control you. You reverse him. So I've done that. You can look at my Shoney Carter fight. Unfiltered Army. I know you guys can do that, but don't put that up there. They'll probably take it down off the site. But also my Eve Edwards fight. I was about to get kneed in the face up against the cage. I pulled him on top of me, got wrapped around the leg. He sit up to defend it. Punched him a few times in the face. I went to get the heel. He rolled to escape. I used it to get on top.
Okay.
I'm on bottom. I'm on top. I'm clean as fuck, my face. I'm not taking – these guys can't defend their leg and attack me at the same time. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's all timing. And that gets worked out in the training room. You can't sit there in a position where they can reach your face thinking, oh, if I can just maneuver this leg a little bit more to the knee, to the right. No, dude, you're going to get fucking hammered.
So when you did that, you knew he would roll and you knew you'd be able to get on top.
100%. I do it all the time. And if he doesn't stop, if he stops rolling, I'll rip his knee off. You know?
Very interesting.
Yeah, Jimmy. Jimmy, I got a nice little video from longtime friend of the show and sometimes co-host. We haven't had him on in a while.
I know. I told him that Jamie Crowder. Yeah.
Jamie Crowder, also known as Jamie English.
Jamie English.
He was at Henzo's, and so were you.
Yep.
With Jedi Mike J. How'd that go?
Great.
How'd your jiu-jitsu lesson go?
I've done a couple, and I want to do a couple of classes too, just to do them. But I'm doing, because my schedule is very crazy. I'm doing some privates because it's just the timing doesn't work out for classes.
You and Mike?
Yes. And today he had somebody else with us. He was kind of walking us through everything.
Yeah, like another guy to help. Yeah.
Yeah, and I put the. It was great. I put the gi on today. I hadn't put that on before, and it's very man. You don't. It's exhausting. Like being under somebody and just rolling them over, reversing them. It's really exhausting.
I sweat so much teaching.
Yeah.
Jimmy. I love it. I taught this morning, buddy.
Yeah,
I love it. I was on a high. After we get off the show, I want you to look on my Instagram story.
Okay.
Please do. And you're going to see my daughters just wreak havoc.
Yeah, I will. I'll look at it as soon as we get off.
All right, Jimmy. What else, man? Why aren't you going to the Fat Black Pussycat soon?
Wednesday night, you can see me at the Fat Black. And of course, July 14th and 15th at Rogan's Club in Austin. The early shows are sold out. Late shows have a few tickets. All the VIP stuff is gone. And also June the 18th, I'll be with Bert Kreischer in New Hampshire. I think the 17th is sold out. So the 18th, it's an amphitheater. There's a few tickets left if you want to come see us there.
All right, Jimmy. Listen, man, I'll be talking to you in a couple of days, dude. Big shout out to my wife and my kids and all my students and everybody else that's trying to just test themselves in these tournaments and whatnot. They did well at that Pride Jiu-Jitsu tournament on Long Island. That made me very happy. Hey, I got nothing else to say right now, Jimmy. Oh, fuck. I'm going to go see the Spider-Verse tomorrow. So you, little friend, you expect a report and a Matt's Movie Minute. We haven't done that in a minute.
Enjoy it.
We're going to have a good time with that next time.
Yes, and that was great. Thank you to our guests, and I'm glad we got all the audio worked out with Diego.
Jimmy, I'll never snap at you again, ever.
No, I didn't. It's okay. Ever. You can.
Don't be mad at me, Jimmy.
I'm not mad. I wasn't mad.
It would hurt my feelings, literally.
No, I wasn't mad.
I'm kind of soft on the inside with that.
Yeah, I wasn't mad.
I love you, buddy.
I love you. Bye.
Most awkward ending ever, Jimmy.
No, not at all. Bye.
Bye, Jimmy.